Hello everyone, Rurikhan here, bringing you another edition of New Game Plus, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about Darksiders 2. So, I'm not exactly sure how familiar you guys are with Darksiders 1. I've recently uploaded an episode about Darksiders 1 for New Game Plus, so you guys might want to be checking that out before you actually get into this one. So in Darksiders 2, you're going to be playing the role of Death, one of the four riders of the apocalypse. In Darksiders 1, you played as War. So that is the reason why you guys are watching this trailer. All these masks of death, kind of showing you that death has been pretty much present throughout all of our lives. It's kind of a little hype trailer about the faces of death and whatnot. And I'm talking about death as a character, not death as in dying. So just in case those of you who are not familiar with the Darksiders universe have any question. Now, Darksiders 1 was a game that I initially was not very impressed by it. I've kind of just I kind of just piled it up together as a God of War clone, so I never really paid that much attention to it. And I have to say that in these past couple of days that I've been playing Darksiders 1, really hardcore, really getting into it. In fact, I've recently platinumed it. I'm not saying that it's like a big challenge or anything, but it's mostly time consuming than anything else. It's just I kind of start falling for the story of this game and the mechanics that the game uses and all that kind of stuff, and I started really enjoying it. I mean, this is a game where you can see that it draws inspiration from titles like God of War, titles like Zelda. As a matter of fact, I seem to remember one of these reports that's going to be passing by in the background. I think one of the developers actually said that he's a big fan of Zelda. I also noticed a lot of influences from Metroid in there, and in a specific section of the game you'll even get some Panzer Dragoon feeling, and which one was the other one? Oh yeah, even Portal. You even get a section in the game where you get a feeling of Portal. But yeah, this was in Darksiders 1. Now in Darksiders 2, you're going to be taking control of this character that you're watching on screen right now, and that is Death. And if in Darksiders 1 you were taking control of War, which as the developers kind of describe it, War is like this big soldier, just kind of takes stuff head on, whatever, kind of like a tank almost, if you put it like that. He's like a big soldier, a fighter, a warrior. It seems that they are trying to describe Death more as just a badass rogue. They say he's a more agile character. He's a character that kind of handles things in a different way than War, because War is more frontal, is more about conflict, and Death is more about kind of deciding things, the way stuff happens and whatnot. And I, for one, after playing Darksiders 1, I got so into it that it's like it immediately got me interested in Darksiders 2, and that's why I'm making this video for New Game Plus, because if you guys still haven't gotten into the Darksiders franchise, because I feel that the Darksiders franchise is something that has been really downplayed. Oh my god, look at this scene. That's just coming up behind that demon and smacking the crap out of it. Pretty friggin' sweet. Although this is obviously a CGI trailer, so it's gonna be awesome and amazing. But I've seen a lot of the gameplay footage, and it looks like you will be able to do these kinds of crazy-ass moves in-game. But now, like I was saying, Darksiders is actually a game that I feel was really downplayed by a lot of people, like myself even, as a God of War clone. And I really think that people should maybe give this game another chance, especially if in light of a recent video that I made where I mentioned that PlayStation Plus got a revamp and now it has a ton of AAA titles and whatnot, and they seem to want to keep that going forward. So it is a good idea, if you have a PlayStation 3, check out what's on the PS Plus, see if it interests you, because they also had, I'm not sure for how long it's going to be there, but at the time that I'm making this video, it's still there. They had Darksiders 1 there, and that was one of the reasons why I kind of got into that series, and it was just like amazing. Like I said, it just became this amazing experience that immediately got me interested in Darksiders 2, and just watching Death kick ass is just amazing. Now, some things are going to be a little bit different from Darksiders 1. So, where in Darksiders 1, it's very hack and slash. Oh, these action sequences just, I know it's CGI, but I still really love animation work. I mean, you guys know me, I'm a sucker for wicked, cool animations, and the animation work in this game is just superb. So the game has its unique art style. I also really like this ability, the hand thing. You get something similar to this with War, but I guess Death is they're trying to kind of make Death be a little bit cooler. And here you can see Death doing his transformation, because just in case you guys don't know, I mean, War could transform into this chaos form where he would just become this big ass demon of fire and brimstone, and apparently Death has his own version of that where he just transforms into the Grim Reaper, which is pretty bad ass. I mean, just look at that. It just spells badass all over it. Now, something that kind of intrigued me about Darksiders 2 was the fact that, and there's going to be a spoiler, so if you guys don't want to be subject to spoilers from Darksiders 1, you probably might want to stop watching the video at this point. So just saying, don't say I didn't warn you, but at the end of Darksiders 1, basically what happened was all of this crazy stuff happened, and at the end, War breaks the final seal that kind of ensures the peace between heaven and hell, whatever. And as he breaks the final seal, basically the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse get summoned. Because for the first game, War was kind of betrayed. He was kind of summoned, but in a wrong way, so to speak. So he breaks the final seal, and thus the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, the 3 remaining horsemen of the apocalypse, come down. So I was surprised that Darksiders 2 features only Death, because I mean, obviously at that point you're expecting that it will also feature the other characters like Famine and Pestilence, which are the other 2 riders of the apocalypse. But then again, I'm not exactly sure how they would make a game about a character called Famine. Doesn't make a lot of sense. And Pestilence, however, kind of makes sense, but the way that they kind of made Death, I'm not sure they want to make Pestilence, because the Death's horse kind of seems really pestilent, so to speak. It's green and whatever, and Death itself seems like he's going to have some stuff that kind of relates to Pestilence, so still don't know. But the game is looking pretty damn awesome, and after playing the first one, I have to say that I'm really now confident about this franchise, because you really have to play the first game all the way through to appreciate how good the franchise is. Because at the start, the game seems very bland, very generic. It's just like this badass guy, looks like God of War, and you really have to get into the game in order to really attach a connection to the universe of the game. And I kind of felt that halfway through, and that's what kind of kept me going throughout the game. Now, there's a main difference between this one and the other one, because the first game is very hack and slash. Pretty much all the objects are in the same place all the time. There's not really a loot system per se. There's a currency system with souls. Like, you kill enemies, you get souls. Some enemies you kill, you get souls that will heal you. You get souls that will regenerate your wrath. That kind of stuff. But in this one, they say there's going to be a lot more loot. You're going to be able to customize the character, which is something that I really dig. I dig customizing characters. And one of the big sins that I felt that the character of War had is that he doesn't really change all that much throughout the whole game unless you actually go and collect the abyssal armor set. Yeah, I think it's called abyssal armor set. Then he changes once this completely different armor set. And to be honest, I kind of preferred the way he looked before he got the abyssal armor set. But it's like, whatever, I needed the abyssal armor set for all the trophies and all that crazy stuff. So I got the abyssal armor set, and it was pretty sweet. But I mean, this game is looking like it has its own different gameplay from the first one, because Death seems like he's much more of an agile character. They also said that the world is much bigger. Now, I spent 30 hours, not 30 hours, like 28, 27 hours, something like that, in the first game to collect all the stuff, to get all the trophies for Platinum, and also doing some exploration of my own, because I didn't just start the game, went for a guide, and went get everything that I need to get. It was more like I just started the game, played all the way almost to the end, and then I went to a guide to see what I need to do, make sure I didn't miss any trophies or whatever. And I mean, the world in the first Darksiders is already a pretty big world, especially if you consider the date, because it's not a really recent game, so to speak. I'm not exactly sure when it came out. Was it 2008, 2009, something like that? It already had a pretty decent-sized world. I mean, it was pretty damn big, actually. But I mean, I suppose that if you compare that to certain games, like, I don't know, maybe like a Zelda or whatever, maybe the worlds are bigger. But they're saying that the Darksiders 2 world is going to be even bigger than the world of Darksiders 1. And that is just something that I'm like, sweet. More stuff to explore, more angels to kill. In Darksiders 1, you actually fought against angels as well as demons. I mean, just cool stuff all around. Now, something that I want to make sure they do, they better introduce that dwarven-looking guy with a big hammer, because I love that guy. That guy was awesome. It was Ulthane. Yeah, Ulthane was amazing. I really dig that character, so I hope Ulthane makes an appearance in Darksiders 2. Big fan of that guy. Something I also noticed throughout these videos, you guys probably noticed as well, is that Death also at a certain point gets a huge ass hammer, and you guys already know what's going to happen when the Khan gets his hands on Death's hammer. I mean, it's going to be hammer time. It's going to be friggin' hammer time. I'm going to hammer everything down. So this game just got completely like buffed up in my list as soon as I got through Darksiders 1 and actually kind of got really engrossed into the world. And just looking at this footage with Death using his hand to do all these crazy acrobatics and using dual sights, and they said the sights can be combined to make a regular standard sight, as well as his death form. I mean, he just looks amazing. It is just an amazing looking game in my opinion, and it is just that it just seems like it's right up my alley, especially after they said that they were basically going to make it more of an RPG than just an hack and slash. They say there's going to be talent trees and there's going to be lots of gear for you to choose from, customize your character, decide how you want to progress, and it just seems that they're kind of picking up all the good stuff that I really liked about Darksiders 1, and they're bringing it to Darksiders 2 along with some RPG elements, which is something that I simply love. I mean, you guys know that I'm an RPG guy, and the animations. One of the great things about this game was how fluid the animations were in the first one, and from all the footage that I've seen for the second one, it seems that they're going the same route. They're going to have really, really fluid animations. The game is just, it's just looking awesome. I mean, I can see that there's not a big departure from the engine, which might turn some players down. They're like, oh man, I wish it would have better graphics or something like that. But I feel that engine, I mean, it has its own unique art style. And I feel that the art style of this game is really, really good. As long as they just give me, maybe a couple of sharper textures or something, because there were a couple of textures in Darksiders 2 and Darksiders 1 that I would like to see better. But I mean, just look at that hammer, that scythe, that action scraping down walls. It's just amazing. It's looking like it's going to be an amazing game, and I personally am really excited about this game. It wasn't on my radar until I actually got through Darksiders 1, because I never paid that much attention to that game. But now, I mean, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you still haven't tried out Darksiders 1, maybe it's time you give it a shot. Try it out for yourself. See if you like it or not, because Darksiders 2 might just be an amazing game for you if you do. So this has been Rurikhan. I'm going to leave you with the final trailer here, which is called The Final Sermon. And I hope you guys actually enjoy this episode. Whatever, leaving feedback, good stuff. See you guys in the next one.